let's start our warm-up in child's pose. So come onto all fours, ease the hips back and stretch the arms forward. And find somewhere to rest your head gently. If you can't do that comfortably, you could always have your hands here and your forehead resting on your hands, or a blanket or a block or something underneath your head. But it's nice to be able to just relax the head, relax the neck. So we'll spend a few moments breathing here in child's pose. Remember, we begin to focus the breath in and out through the nose, and we try and maintain that for the whole class. And the reason we focus the breath in and out through the nose is because we need to concentrate on that, and that begins to focus our mind entirely on what we're doing here in our class. So that allows us to forget about everything else, all the other brain clutter, and we forget about that for at least for the duration of the class. And then that's our training for the rest of our day. So when we begin to get distracted and anxious and the brain is all cluttered, we begin to bring our attention back to our breath so that we can calm down and focus on the important stuff and the positive stuff. So yoga is our training for that throughout our day. So remember, anytime during the class, if you feel fatigued or if it gets too much, too difficult, you can always come back to child's pose. It's a great little resting pose. You can rest and regroup and re-energize and then join back whenever you're ready. So to begin our warm-up, let's make sure our tummies are in tight to support our lower back. Let's reach those hands forward a little more consciously and begin to press the hips up and come into all fours. So tummies in tight all the time to support that lower back. Let's inhale and lift the chest up, lift the hips up, and exhale and round through the back. So let's take some nice deep breaths in this cat-cow. So inhale, lift the chest up, exhale, round the back. And inhale, lift the chest up, exhale, round the back. So we can begin to add a little movement to that. So if you inhale and scoop forward, and exhale and roll back. Inhale and scoop forward, exhale and roll back. So I like to do this adding a little more movement because it allows the muscles to get a little more warm and it really gets our breath flowing. Remembering in and out through the nose. So move with the breath. Inhale forward, exhale, roll back. So this is getting the warm up going through the shoulders, through the hips, through the legs. Inhale and exhale. And inhale and exhale. Good. So from here, when you're ready, we can tuck the toes under. Again, tummies in tight, supporting that lower back all the time. And let's begin to lift the heels, the hips up. We can keep those knees bent just as long as you need to. Okay, the hamstrings are going to be cold, they're going to be tight. So we can just begin to stretch those back of the legs out by pressing one heel down after the other. All the time, tummies in tight. Lifting those hips up at the back. Remember guys, anytime during the class something does not feel right to you, it's too big a movement, your muscles are too tight, you're recovering from an injury, you can choose to modify it, okay? You know your body best. So let's sink the heels down. Doesn't matter where or how far they go, just begin to sink the heels down. Now we're going to bend the knees deeply. Roll the back up and roll forward into a plank. And we're going to do another rolling sort of motion with that. So lift back up into down dog, sink the heels just briefly, bend the knees, round the back up, roll forward into plank. So a little rolling down dog, plank pose. Okay, bend the knees, roll up and plank. Roll back, sink the heels. Bend the knees, roll up and plank. Roll back to down dog. Sink the heels, bend the knees. Okay, this time let's hold on to our plank pose. Tummies in nice and tight. Let's take the knees down, bend through the elbows and come all the way down onto the mat. And now that we're going to lift up into a cobra. So the elbows are back, the shoulders are backing down. And let's inhale up to a little cobra. So we're still in the warm up, okay? So we're not looking to yank up too far. And remember, when we're going into cobra, think about space in the back.
So we're lifting up and forward. We're not trying to do too deep a back bend. All right, so let's inhale and roll down. Exhale and roll up. 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 So from this cobra, to come safely back up to plank, we can tuck our toes under, tummies in nice and tight, push back through your plank with a nice strong body, and then sink into your down dog. Good, sink those heels down, so the back of those legs should be a lot warmer now. All right, so let's bend through the knees, roll into our plank. Knees down, lower plank, roll up to cobra, roll back down, tuck the toes under, press up to plank, lift to down dog, and sink those heels. So one more time through that. Bend through the knees, roll to our plank, knees down, lower down to plank, roll up to cobra, roll back down, tuck the toes under, press up to plank, lift the hips, and sink the heels into our down dog. Good, so tummies in nice and tight, lift the hips up, sink the heels down, and let's hold it here in down dog for a few moments. Good, so that's the end of our first warm up.